The Shroud of Turin. The first selfie. The Shroud of Turin, John 20 verses 6 through 7. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb. He saw the linen cloths, Othonian in Greek, lying there, verses 7, and the face cloth, Sudarion in Greek, which had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen cloths but folded up in a place by itself. The linen cloth, or shroud, was in private hands for 1900 plus years, and small pieces of it were actually torn off and given to certain dignitaries. It was given to the Pope in 1983 by the King of Italy when the king died. There were 500,000 interdisciplinary hours of study done on it through 63 academic disciplines over decades of time. The studies were done by Jews, non-Jews, Christians, non-Christians, scientists, etc. Max Frey, a Swiss criminologist, spent 5 years studying all of the pollen spores on the shroud. Of the 58 different types found, 45 were from the Jerusalem area that only bloomed in the springtime. Jesus died in April. Using a process called wide-angle X-ray scattering, a lab in Italy took a burial shroud from Masada dated 70 AD, and by comparison they were able to determine that the Shroud of Turin has 2,000 years of degradation in the shroud fibers. Alan Adler, a biochemist and expert in hematology, took blood samples from the several pints of blood across the shroud and studied them for 5 years. He found that the blood was male, human, and type AB, which less than 3% of people have, and is found primarily in Israel. The studies show that there are 50 abrasions on what would be the forehead part from the crown of thorns of the shroud. There were also 372 laceration imprints from the flogging with the flagellum whip that was used to beat Jesus. Another discovery is that the blood samples from where the spear pierced through Jesus' side and into his heart were found to be post-mortem, proving he was dead on the cross when the Roman soldier pierced his side. A 5-year study was done on the imprint that showed that the imprint that was made when Jesus' body went through the shroud, and it would have happened in 1/40th of 1 billionth of a second, and would have required 34,000 trillion watts of energy to produce it, as Jesus' body emanated through the shroud. The shroud was the first selfie, so to speak, ever taken and left proof of the resurrection. There is an enormous amount of evidence, including new AI technology, and details of the 2 fires it survived, with one being in 1532, that a group of nuns meticulously sewed patches in to repair the fire damage in 1534. The sample taken in 1988, that was carbon dated, had actually been part of one of the patches, and contained cotton fibers, showing that the sample used was a flawed sample. The newer AI technology showed the dating to be 2,000 years old also. For the sake of time and length of the video, I will not include the extra information. I hope and pray this information helps you in knowing the truth of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. May the Lord richly bless you.